Long ago, Zeus left the earth and entrusted its protection to his daughter Athena. The sea god and brother of Athena, Poseidon, decided to take advantage of this situation and take over the world. To do this, he formed a group of powerful warriors known as the Mariners, who were blessed with armor known as scales. Poseidon's mariners attacked the surface world protected by armor made of the mythical metal compound known as arcalium. With the armor, they were unstoppable. In this period, Poseidon built Atlantis, a continent-sized fortress for his base of operations. A fortress whose walls were stated to be able to withstand the might of 10,000 soldiers. The battle with Poseidon became so dire that even the children became warriors. Athena hated weapons but wanted to protect these young men, so she bestowed upon them armor known as cloth. These cloths were made by an alchemist in the continent of Mu. It was made of not only arcalium but also other compounds, are not only more durable than the scales but also capable of self-regeneration. Saints kept the armor inside the cloth boxes with aid in the regeneration process. The warriors bore these cloths were called saints, and they drove back the forces of Poseidon. Poseidon and his strongest mariners retreated to Atlantis, but he did not stop even at the behest of Athena. He created typhoons and earthquakes, killing many people. This angered Athena, and thus she sent 8 warriors to battle in Atlantis. After an incredible battle, the 8 warriors won and sunk Atlantis to the bottom of the ocean. Generations after the First Holy War, a temple was built for Athena, and the 12 houses were built inside. This became the home of Athena's saints, now known as the Sanctuary. Athena's Army. Athena's army has 3 ranks: bronze saints, the lowest ranked soldiers donning the weakest armor. These saints have superhuman abilities and generally move at supersonic speeds. However, all saints' power derives from one thing: cosmos. The world was created via the Big Bang. This power resides in everything. Saints harness this power to go beyond human limitations and develop techniques to destroy the very atoms in the universe, meaning bypass traditional durability and destroy even non-corporeal entities. The Silver Saints, naturally above the Bronze Saints in every aspect, including better armor and moving at speeds between Mach 2 and 5. One Silver Saint's power caused an earthquake that shook all of Mount Fuji and stated he could have made it crumble. Finally, the Gold Saints. The gap between the power of a Silver Saint and even that of the weakest Gold Saint is incredible. By achieving the 7th sense, the Gold Saints move at bare minimum the speed of light, but soon we will see speed that will make that seem sluggish. Their power is often compared to that of stars, but even the power of a star will seem banal to the elite of these warriors. Though they are of a lower tier, both saints of Cancer share the formidable ability to separate one's soul from their body and send it to the gates of the underworld. Even godlike entities, Death Mask, outside the underworld was capable of telepathically attacking someone in China, showing the ability to attack from another dimension. The saints of Pisces use their cosmos-created roles in a variety of ways. They line the stairway to their temple with their poisonous roses that causes people to lose their senses and die. They can create a fog to hide themselves. They can create fields to surround enemies, as well as protect and heal others. bloody rose, launches toward the heart, and is capable of piercing even gold cloth. Taurus Aladrian, a man of great strength, who even holding back was able to knock down a bronze saint who at that point was beyond a silver saint through multiple walls. Aladrian, along with Shiru, managed to hold off one of the strongest giants. He even cracked its armor so Shiru could unleash the final blow. With his great strength, was able to lift Barbas, the weight of the sins of humanity, with one hand. It is greater than the weight of the earth. So even low-tier gold saints have enough hacks in power to potentially kill an enemy in a single strike. Taurus Ox, a giant man whose cosmos was strong enough to shake the entire sanctuary. He casually knocked back Shun, a gold saint level character even holding back. He casually killed specters. He managed to both knock back and hurt a judge, who was stated to be stronger than top tier. While statements like that in this series you can't take as fact due to contradictions, it's still a strong note to his power. It should be noted that that judge's power was cut in half, but this feat alone puts him above his future counterpart. Aquarius Camus. Aquarius Camus manipulates particles in the air to freeze enemies at absolute zero temperature. In battle, he faced the fire beast Salamander, then engaged in a brutal battle against a sealed titan, to which he won. Both Camus and Mylia fought one of the three strongest giants of Cronus, Dracon, and managed to defeat it. The Titan Lapdos has the ability to manipulate space, create dimensional rifts that consume people and the world around it, to the point the Saints feared it would absorb everything. But Mu interfered by using his technique Starlight Extinction, where he unleashes many rays of light that absorb everything it comes in contact with. This destroyed the rift created by the Titan God. Not done yet, however, the Titan summoned 100 Hinder, who are the sons of primordial gods. Using the warping power of the Titan, it brutalized Mu. But in the end, he was defeated by Mu's strongest technique, Stardust Revolution, where he creates a pocket universe and unleashes with meteors and other space debris. Now finally, it's time to talk about Speed, the famous speed of the Saint Seiya universe. This series, from the beginning, had characters that can punch 85 times in a second, to later being able to travel light years in mere moments. Characters being able to punch 100 million to a billion times in a second. One of the greatest feats of speed came from the Bronze Saint, who arrived in the hyperdimension, a dimension filled with billions of galaxies. Yet the Bronze Saints traveled this distance in minutes. This speed is incredible. Once calculated, it amounts to a number beyond the speed of light you likely have never heard of. As great as this feat of speed was, from a Bronze Saint who has understanding of the seventh sense, a Gold Saint has gone even further. Shura, when facing an enemy of incredible speed, he needed to go beyond. He needed a miracle. Essentially, a miracle allows saints to do the impossible, things thought only possible by the gods. Shura surpassed the initial speed of the Big Bang. The Gold Saint of Leo. His lightning bolt technique was strong enough to crack the armor of Hyperion, one of the strongest titans. While his technique Lightning Plasma is weaker than Lightning Bolt, it is almost impossible to dodge and was capable of easily destroying specters. Capricorn Shira, who wields the power of Excalibur. This technique allows Shira to release sharp energy attacks from his arms and legs. With this, he easily tore through the army of the Titans. Little is known of the 18th century saints, but what has been shown, and as well stated, they seem to be above their future counterparts. Sagittarius Iolus, the chosen pope and man said to be the greatest of all gold saints. He was fast enough to save baby Athena and knock off the appellant of the pope, who was inches away from killing Athena. His ultimate attack, Infinity Break, fires an infinite number of powerful arrows. This was strong enough to destroy the Egyptian army. The mighty Gemini saga. Before delving into his power, he has other notable abilities. He can fire a beam of light to the brain that forces those struck by it to kill someone. Another dimension, Saga manipulates time-space and creates tear that absorbs his enemies. He can use this ability to rip his enemy from the inside. He was fast enough to attack Leo without his claw, and via meditation, he can control his claw from afar using it to fight with his abilities. Now, his ultimate technique, Galaxian Explosion. This great technique has been stated to contain the power to destroy galaxies. It was able to completely annihilate Phoenix Iki, with people around him saying it felt like the heavens were falling apart. He used this attack against the Titan Kronos. Even he had to hide behind the statue of Athena to escape being hit by this technique. Galaxian Explosion was stated to have this power outside the manga as well, in official character profiles, and was even confirmed by multiple authors that the Saints have the power to destroy galaxies. The saga is not a glass cannon. He also survived attacks from Kronos. He was unaffected by multiple attacks from the Bronze Saints, who awakened their seventh sense. While badly hurt after, he still survived an attack capable of surpassing Galaxian Explosion. Episode G, Leo Alio. In the battle against the Titans, he was gifted with the power of Dunamis and Divine Thunderbolt, but he has shown great strength even before these gifts. Matched Shaka's Demon Pacificate or Tenma with his lightning bolt. Leo easily manhandled the three saints, Saga, Camus, and Shiru. They complemented his might. When he seemed as though he was going to use lightning bolt, the saints appeared fearful. While the three ghost saints had their senses removed and were badly hurt from the fight with Virgo Shaka, this is still a fairly impressive feat. Photon Burst. Leo creates both throughout the entire area with his cosmos. He then thrusts the photons into the enemy's body, bypassing traditional durability and erupting it inside the body with the power equal to Saga's Galaxian Explosion. With the gifts Dunamis and Divine Thunderbolt, he was able to fight on par with one-sealed Titans, who had the power to create cosmos and force stars and planets, even creating universe-like dimensions. Episode G, Capricorn Shira, also gifted with the power of Dunamis. But of course he has other notable feats. He was able to cut the hair of Aries' moon even though he was teleporting. He survived the Galaxian Explosion from Saga. While it was not unleashed with killing intent, it is still a galaxy level attack. Even before the gift, he faced a one-sealed Titan, survived powerful attacks, and was fast enough to do battle with it to some degree. Virgo Shaka, the man closest to God. Though his attacks and abilities are not as directly destructive, his powers make him incredibly fearsome. Similar to Deathmask's ultimate attack, Shaka can separate one's soul from the body, but instead of sent to the underworld, he sends him to the 6 paths of reincarnation. His illusions were so great they were dangerous, meaning his illusions can either affect the 5 senses or is the form of creation. The gold saints, Saga, Shira, and Camus ran for what may have been hours lost in Shaka's illusion before realizing they were affected, even losing track of time. Shaka in a physical battle matched Leo with his eyes closed. He was able to evade attacks from Shura, who was striking with killing intent. After recognizing the 3 saints, he destroyed their helmets. Shaka was strong enough to destroy Phoenix Iki's cloth with just a hand gesture. With assistance, he was able to bring himself and Iki back from a space between life and death. Shaka has a barrier that he uses to protect and reflect attacks. The barrier was strong enough to withstand multiple attacks on specters. Specters he later killed. While they were trying to hide their signature moves, Shaka still survived the strongest techniques of the 3 gold saints, with only a cut using Khan. Shaka's barrier was strong enough to repel the attacks of giants summoned by a 1 steel titan. The giants' attacks were on par with that of a gold saint's attacks. His attack, Tenma, Shaka gathers his cosmos into his hand and unleashes it into an omnidirectional or focused blast, which he used to destroy the Temple of Cancer. After giving a portion of his cosmos to Leo, faced the giant of Kronos, who had the power of Denmus. The giant focused all the power of his dunamis into one attack that Shaka blocked with one hand. While the other 2 giants were killed by a combination of attacks from 2 other saints, Shaka opened his eyes, releasing his stored cosmos, killed the giant using Tenma. This attack has been stated to be comparable with that of Saga's Galaxian explosion. His ultimate attack, Tenbu Horn, after opening his eyes, he performs this technique. He sends his enemy to a state of harmony, unable to attack. What could be considered a separate technique, Shaka will next remove the 6 senses from his victims: sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, and mind, leaving the victim in a vegetable-like state. He performed this technique against 3 saints. It shows this attack can also cause great pain, as you see the saints and the cloths are damaged after each removal. Shaka achieved the 8th sense, which allowed him control over his body and soul in the underworld. Shaka was fast enough to attack and enrage Seiya, who by now has long achieved the 7th sense. Shaka raised his cosmos to the max, focused it in the Libra weapons, and unleashed it only to have it reflect back toward him. While he was hurt, he still survived the attack. So while Shaka's attacks may not be as destructive in nature as others, his power and abilities clearly show him as being one of the strongest saints. Few things before moving on. The other abilities of Cosmos. Cosmos can hide your presence, turn you invisible, as well as allowing you to fly. The Libra weapons. Alone, the Libra weapons have the power to destroy stars. When the Bronze Saint Dragon Shiru donned one of the Libra weapons, he was able to destroy the ice coffin of Aquarius. It has been said the combined power of all saints could not break. The Libra shield was durable enough to withstand the power of a young Libra Dooku and a judge with only a crack. It was also able to withstand attacks from the primordial god Pontus. The 1000-Day War. When 2 gold saints near equal in power face each other, the battle will continue for 1000 days. This is a very impressive feat of stamina. The 8th sense. Those who achieve this ability have full control of their body and soul in the world of Hades. This effectively gives saints the ability to come back from death. Athena exclamation. 3 saints raised their cosmos to its max to perform a technique equivalent of the Big Bang on a lesser scale. Sunlight. All 12 gold saints generate the light absorbed by the cloth and focus their cosmos into the arrow of Sagittarius. This technique, far greater than Athena exclamation, and destroyed the wall created by Hades. The legendary bronze saints. Before even donning the gold cloth, they have shown to be above the common saint from the very beginning. Hyoga once punched a hole into ice thousands of years old. He then went on to travel from Far East Asia to Japan in under an hour, speed greater than that of the supersonic speed of a bronze saint. He withstood a barrage of attacks from a bronze saint without damage. After facing his master, he learned to manipulate ice at absolute zero temperature. In bronze cloth, he matched the power of the 18th century Aquarius gold saints, using their strongest attacks. As a gold saint, he faced the gladiator Atlas. Even the weaker gladiators can match gold saints. And once Hyoga realized the gladiator was hiding his true identity, he made easy work of the gladiator, and could have finished her off at any time. Shiru. Trained by Libra, Doku. In training, he reversed the flow of a 3,000-foot waterfall, and while neither had their cloth, Shiru achieved the 7th sense and raised his cosmos above that of the gold saint Cancer Deathman, and defeated him. Shiru without his cloth was strong enough and fast enough to knock back Capricorn Shiru. Shiru, using Excalibur that was donned on him by Shira, broke the lance of the mariner Krishna, which he stated not even gods could break. Shiru cut the helmet using Excalibur. The specters didn't even notice being hit. When Shiru and the 3 specters attacked, he both survived their attacks and badly hurt the 3 specters. When facing the demigod Sigurd, whose power he stated was like that of a god, he survived a barrage of attacks without even donning any cloth. He later donned the Libra cloth with shield. Shiru managed to block an infinite number of attacks from Sigurd. Shira finally ended the battle, unleashing the full power of his Excalibur, leaving the gladiator badly hurt. Before the saint even donned the bronze cloth for battle, his natural cosmos was powerful enough. By just demonstrating it, he shattered the cloth of a silver saint. Shun uses the chains of Andromeda for attacking and defending. The chains showed great omnidirectional defense by knocking down and badly hurting a bronze saint while holding back. Full power would have likely killed him. The chains discharged high electric voltage. Shun used his chains to attack the Pope through another dimension, light years in distance. Shun survived 2 attacks from Virgo Shaka. While Shaka was clearly holding back, Pax was strong enough to knock out the other bronze saints. He uses rolling defense to repel the attack of Aphrodite. Shun uses his cloth to keep his cosmos contained. Once he removes it, he can unleash his true power. Shun can bind his enemy with Nebulous Dream. His strongest attack, Nebulous Storm, was powerful enough to kill Aphrodite. Shun, prior to this, emitted so much cosmos to warm the body of Hyoga, he passed out. So for him to perform this technique means he has much cosmos. He can manifest non-corporeal chains to use like he would the bronze cloth chains. And finally, donning the cloth of Virgo that can increase his naturally powerful cosmos, he made short work of a dangerous monster. Gemini Cain and Abel are the 18th century gold saints of Gemini. 2 men that inhabit the body of one. They completely dominated the judge Garuda, who Iki stated was stronger than any enemy he faced before. He made easy work of Iki, who before was able to kill a judge. Iki stated that Geminis have a reputation of being the strongest, and that Cain was no exception. When he used Galaxian explosion to its fullest, Shun said it felt like the universe shook. Aries Shion, and Libra Doku. 18th century gold saint, the only two that have survived the Great Holy War. When Shun was raised from the dead, he faced his student Mu, where he easily broke his crystal wall and completely paralyzed him with his psychic abilities. Mu is stated to be one of the strongest gold saints. Shun manhandled enraged bronze saints who by then had the seventh sense. Near the end of the Great Holy War, he faced specters who commented that his power felt like the Big Bang, and it was like it could destroy the universe and reshape it. Both in profiles, creator interviews, it is stated that a young Saga would have no chance against a fine Shun. Libra Doku, the other saint to survive the 18th century Holy War, and to ready himself for the next Holy War, he cocooned his body in a state that slowed his aging. Yet even in this form, he was strong enough to stop the binding effect of Shion. In battle, even in Klaus's old form, for a time, he held his own against Shion. In his old form, he managed to destroy the crystal wall of Shion, which was at least stronger than Mu's. At full power, his attack 100 dragons matched Shion's starlight extinction. Being a Libra, he has the advantage of having the Libra weapons, and like Shaka, Mu, Mylio, and Alio, he survived the Libra weapons being reflected back at them. The final tier of gold saints. I'm going to call it the Cosmos tier. This is a tier of saints who have either the natural power or techniques that makes them a universal threat. Cancer Lancelot, warrior of the Round Table. After being freed from the duty of being a gladiator, he revealed his true form, donning the Cancer god gold cloth, which naturally puts him above almost all gold saints. Virgo Shajima and Nirvana Shaka is arguably stronger than Shaka, but even if not, he has a ton of hex for his enemies, such as he can create an astral projection of himself to fight of his own accord. The 4 Buddhist gates, where he traps his enemies in a dimension where they must choose the gate of aging, disease, gate of life, which of course causes rapid aging, sickness, and death. The gate of life causes you to wander forever in the temple of Virgo. Space of silence. He unleashes a sound so painful it can destroy one's mind and soul. And of course, Tinbu Horn. He has hacks that leaves enemies dead or near death, but that's not why he's on his tier. Shajima opens his mouth, covering everything in a dimension of darkness, and unleashes the sound of the end of the universe, causing the universe to be destroyed. Nirvana Shaka, tracking Andromeda Shun across time. The residual thought of Virgo Shaka saved Tenma and Shun from Shajima's sound of silence. Shajima says that Shaka is a saint fierce on Cosmos, claimed him strongest Virgo since Age of Mythology. Shaka has achieved a state of nirvana, so he's likely ascended to a level far greater than before. Even before ascending to this state, it was stated that Shaka is a saint with great cosmos and the strongest of ghost saints. Shajima used Tinbu Horan. Shaka used this technique as well, while neither were at full power. Acknowledging Shaka's power, he uses ultimate technique Angyo Shaka, knowing the only way to stop this is to counter with Angyo, the light of the birth of the universe, causes the effect of countless universes and lives being created and destroyed. Shaka states if they were to continue, it would cause an endless cycle of reincarnation. This is a great feat of stamina and power, greater than that of the 1000-Day War. Shun put an end to the battle, and Shajima decided to let them go. Shaka proclaimed Shun to be the next saint of Virgo and returned to Nirvana. The Ophiuchus Goat Saint. This legendary saint was considered the greatest of his time. He healed people, cured the sick, and reached a power near divinity. This angered the gods, and thus they banished him. The day of his return, the sun froze and the universe itself were going berserk. It was feared the universe was going to end. The antipope, Sagittarius Iolus. His techniques are similar to that of his brother Leo, but clearly much more powerful versions of his techniques. Shiro states he is the strongest goat saint. So unlike the Sagittarius from their timeline, this Sagittarius has the experience of a tested warrior. His power is so great, he was capable of destroying multiple timelines in other alternate universes. Before I finish, some things must be stated. Like any other manga, this has been translated from Japanese to English and oftentimes Japanese to another language to English. So while the core of what is known is true, sometimes the details are mixed. It's not factual by any means, but it is logically opinionated, based off many sources and findings. Also, this is an ongoing series, ever changing. By next year, who knows what can change. And with that, this video on the great power of goat saints is over.